r/askreddit. What is one of the dumbest things you've done when your brain was on autopilot? I work at a busy restaurant, so I end up saying corner hundreds of times a night as I go back and forth around corners and doorways in the kitchen. Was running food to a table, set it down gently, and in my sweetest customer service voice I said corner, while looking the customer right in the eye instead of here is your soup or something like I usually do. They looked confused, my brain tried to reset, and so naturally I said thank you, as if that made it better. I ended up just backing away. It was a lost cause though man. Restaurant callouts just stick with you. I did something similar when at the grocery store. I was walking around an older lady to get to the cheese and just belted out behind. Scared the crap out of the poor thing. This is a while ago. But I was working at McDonald's and worked in the morning. Not a morning person. Still not. My brain wakes up around 10 AM and I think it was like 8 AM. And I handed this lady her large coffee and the sun shined bright in my eyes and all I said was praise the sun and she looked at me all weird and drove off. I told my friend you're welcome after he sneezed and excused himself the other day. Let a coffee machine run without a jug under it. Went to take a shower and had to clean up the mess afterwards. Lifted my welding mask up and forgot it was on my head. Then went to get a new mask. Flipped my Kindle over to read the other side of a document. The reverse millennial. Tore open a sugar packet, poured it directly into the trash, tossed the empty paper packet into my coffee. I was a kitchen employee at Arby's when I was 18. We used to have sub rolls that were foot long, but the only subs we sold were 6-inch. So you had to cut each roll in half before you used it. I was just zoned out one day and I ended up cutting the sub roll in half, putting the knife back in the sub roll bag, and then trying to use the sub roll to cut the next sandwich. My manager saw it and freaking died. Not me, but one time my GF got handed her drink at Starbucks, said thanks, went over to the bar to get cream or something, and immediately dropped her fresh drink straight into the trash can at the bar. Her mother and I just looked at her and started laughing. The barista saw what happened and with a it happens attitude agreed to replace the drink. It also helped that no one was in there except us, haha. We still bring it up every now and then and all laugh, my GF included. I put my dirty plate in the freezer instead of the dishwasher. Dishes on hard mode. I slathered my face with hair gel this morning. Oh, my condolences. Drove 17 miles past my interstate exit before I snapped back to reality. Waited at a stop sign for 5 minutes thinking it was a red light. I was not on my phone. I didn't hold anybody else up luckily. TV remote in the fridge. Went to the gym, walked right past the desk where you check in and get a locker key, walked into the locker room, stood in front of a locker, and was absolutely puzzled about what to do next. Was holding my phone and ice cream in a cone. Phone rang, answered ice cream. A sticky ear is surprisingly uncomfortable. I use the key fob from my car to lock my refrigerator. Yeah, I don't know either. I poured soda into a bowl. Coca-Cola. Was brushing my teeth and went to throw something away, but ended up spitting all over the floor instead. Once put toothpaste on my razor and very nearly put it in my mouth before the gears in my brain screeched to a halt and the warning sirens went off. I now keep my razor in the shower, far away from my toothbrush. You missed out on a minty fresh shave though. Personally, I wax my teeth, had a drink in my hand, and dumped it out because I checked the time on my watch. Put the cereal box in the fridge. Walked naked in my son's bedroom. I was stepping out of the shower and his bedroom used to be mine in my childhood. I picked shaving foam can instead of antiperspirant and sprayed it on my underarm. Took it as a sign from the almighty and ended up shaving my underarm. That's how you listen to the universe. Bless. I woke up, so I automatically got dressed, prepared things to school, and started making myself a breakfast. Suddenly my dad appears in the kitchen, saying, "It's 3 in the morning and it's Sunday. What the hell are you doing?" Put pasta on the stove, but forgot to add water. For another half hour, I was hearing the cackling noise of burning pasta and thinking I wonder where this noise is coming from. The smell finally got to me. You may want to check your smoke detector. Peed in the trash can. Wasn't even thinking. Just got up, walked towards it, opened the lid thinking it's the toilet seat and let it rip. By the time I realized it way too late, and I just committed to it. The bags are waterproof after all. Drove my now fiance to my ex-girlfriend's house to drop her off home. Asked a customer 5 times throughout the transaction if they wanted a bag or receipt because I couldn't remember if I already asked. Ran a red light like I was at a 4-way stop. Pulled up to the light, a car passed, then I just turned. My light was red. There wasn't another for like half a mile, thankfully. Halfway through the intersection, I realized what I did. Asked how long it would take to drive an hour and a half. Sprayed deodorant in my hair thinking it was hairspray. I didn't even realize until someone pointed out the white mark in my hair. Drove 20 miles to my old job, which is a secure military base. Since I had quit and given up all my badges, it was awkward at the gates. I'd been out of that job for months too. Called my arsehole supervisor dad. When I was in high school, I fell asleep in the middle of class, and when the teacher said my name, I woke up and said the number 4 dumbest thing I ever did. Went to look out my window to see if I was inside the line of a parking space with the window up and smacked my head against the glass. I drank my phone. I hate when that happens. I was playing fetch with my family friend's dog and also texting my friend. The dog brings the toy back and I throw my phone across the yard. Wife asked me what time it was early in the morning. Instead of turning around to look at the clock, I got up, went outside, and took the garbage can to the curb and went back to sleep. I woke up with an extremely dry mouth, so I grabbed the container sitting next to my bed and took a big drink. The container was a barn. I drank barn water. I spit it out, but to this day I have no idea how I managed not to throw up. It had been a while since I had changed the water too. I rang my own doorbell and was pissed when no one opened. Took out 4 years worth of student loans. I drove to work, got to my desk and realized I forgot my key card. Drove home and realized I left my house keys on my desk. I stood in line to check out at a store that didn't have what I came for. Just awkwardly looked at the cashier and walked away when it was my turn. Since I didn't have anything to buy, we punch holes in little rewards cards at work. Guy handed me the punch card and his Amex. Punched a hole in his credit card. Looked at him. He looked at me. For some reason my next instinct was to toss the credit card in the little trash can by the register. I made the noise that I make to get my cat's attention, except I made the noise for my phone to come to me. Got up, got dressed and went to work. I'm a teacher. It was a Saturday. Went to school and realized I was still carrying my Xbox controller. Strained boiling hot pasta while holding the colander from underneath. Dipped my hand into the teapot to see if it was boiling. Gladly it wasn't. Went to work with mismatched shoes. Fed the kitties a soft cat food and licked the spoon. Shouted, "Do you want a bag?" instead of "next, please," at my retail job. Tried to breastfeed a pillow. Sleep deprivation is no joke. Drove into a secured area of military base. The Marines were not impressed. I threw my dirty socks into the toilet instead of the laundry hamper. Was clearing the table after a Sunday breakfast. Took everything to the kitchen and started washing the dishes and all that. Halfway through I look at my hand and see the most soggy, disgusting looking half-eaten croissant ever. Look to my left, all clean dishes and mugs are covered in crumbs and bits. I was using it as a sponge. Further look to my left, my mother is nearly crying, holding her laugh. She had been standing there the whole time. At my mother's we now refer to the sponge as the sponge saint. Pulled out a bag of weed to pay for groceries. Placed phone on a table. There was no table. Thanks for watching. Share your autopilot stories below and don't forget to subscribe to my channel or I will tell your mom on you.